Hi, this is Kyle from Happy Whale Studios. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make a platformer in ActionScript 3. My goal with this tutorial is basically to show you guys what I really didn't know going in and had to kind of figure out myself and piece together from multiple crappy tutorials. So I'm going to show you a really nice way that I think to make a platformer. So I'm going to start out by making a new project called making an ActionScript 3 project. Call it platformer. I don't know how far I'm going to get with this. I don't know if I want to actually give it a serious name. So anyway, go into your source folder and open up the main. And we don't really need this or this. And I don't really like all this white space, so I'm just going to get rid of it. And this. Okay. So, first thing I'm going to do, now that I have this all set, I'm going to make the player class. I'm going to make it extend movie clip. There it is. And again, delete all this crap. Okay, so first things first, we need to make the graphics for our player. And for now, it's just going to be a little black circle. So these three lines will give us a nice little black circle. Draw a circle, this dot x, this dot y, 25 radius, and then stop the fill. That'll give us a nice little player. So now we can come back to our main and we can make our player, make a variable, we'll call it char, player equals new player, char dot, and we can change the x and y here, but we'll put it at 500, 300, add the child, and give it a sec to build. This is the first time we're running it. And voila! We got ourselves a nice little circle. So, next thing I'm going to do is show you guys how to use keyboard interaction. So, we have our player over here, and in here I'm going to add 3 listeners to the stage. Do this with the add event listener function. First one's going to be event.enterFrame, and we're going to, you always have a function attached. So the function I'm going to use, let's just call it check stuff. And then down here below, we'll make the check stuff function, making sure that we have an event argument so that it can be properly linked to the listener. And then now we have that. I'm going to make 2 more. First one will be keyboard event.keyDown. We'll call it keys down. Second one will be key up, keys up. Now we can just go ahead and make these functions down here. Okay, now we've got these. So I'm going to start with the keys down one. I'm going to start by saying if the key code equals 65, which is A, we'll say A down equals true. So up here I'm going to add a Boolean called A down. Also one called D down. For now, we'll just do those 2 directions, A and D for your WASD controls. And then D is 68, change that to D down. And then we can take these 4 lines, put in the up one, and everywhere it's true, make it false. And then in our check stuff method, function. If the A is down, char dot. Oh, wait a minute. Now let's see. Gotta take this and put it outside. Okay. Now char dot x minus equals 5, and if d down, char dot x plus equals 5. So basically what this does is every new frame, it's going to check to see if A is down and D is down. If A is down, the character will move 5 pixels to the left. Otherwise, if D is down, it'll move 5 pixels to the right. And then these just check, make it when you're actually holding down the key, it says that A is down. So now, look at this. We can move our guy back and forth. But this is kind of choppy, so I'm going to go to the project properties. And this is just personal preference, but I like making it 800 by 450, and then I like making the frame rate 60. So now we can go back and look, see what we have, and now it runs at 60 frames per second, which is a lot smoother, I think. So, next thing I'm going to do is add gravity. So this is something I'm going to handle in the player's class itself. So we're going to start. We need a variable to hold it. Private var grav, make it integer, and we're going to need another function. I usually just call it adjust. So in here we're going to say this dot y plus equals grav plus plus. So now, we run this again, and, oh, just a sec. In our every frame method function, we'll say char.adjust. Now, our character falls. We have gravity acting on it. So, we want to make it so that when he hits the ground, he stops. So the next thing we're going to add is a floor. And for now, I'm going to make this 450 because that's the bottom of my screen. And in here, I'm going to say if this dot y, and since it's a circle and the registration point is in the center of the circle, I'm going to say this dot y plus this dot height divided by 2. So if basically a radius of this, a radius away from the center is greater than or equal to floor. No, let's go less than or equal, no, less than floor. Graph plus plus. Else grav equals 0. And this dot y equals floor minus this dot height divided by 2. So now, it stops at the bottom of the screen. Next thing we want to add is walls. So I'm going to handle these also in adjust. Now, I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to actually put adjust after the left and right handling, because now I'm going to add walls. And if the move left and right happens after we handle collision detection, then they'll be able to keep moving. We don't want that. So, I'm going to put another if. I'm going to say if this dot x minus this dot width divided by 2 is less than 0, this dot x equals 0. Simple enough. Or actually equals this dot width divided by 2. and then if this dot x plus this dot width divided by 2 is greater than 0, no, not greater than 0, greater than 800, because that's the state's width, this dot x equals 800 minus this dot width divided by 2. So now our guy falls, and when he gets to the one edge, he stops, and when he gets to the other edge, he also stops. Next thing we want to add is jumping. So we're going to head back to the key listeners, and this one's only going to be in the keys down one. If e.keycode equals 87, that's W, we're going to say char dot. Oh wait, I'm going to make this public. That way I can access it over here. Grab, there we go. Equals -15. So now we can jump. Only issue is we can just keep on jumping. And we don't want that to happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to say if W is down and the character's x minus the character's width divided by 2. Or no, excuse me, y plus equals the floor. I might as well just make everything public. So now I can only jump when I'm on the ground, and it works. So I think that's about enough for the first lesson. Next lesson I'm going to talk about blocks, and if I have time I'll also talk about enemies. So yeah, see you then.